Hi. Do you feel like you're struggling sometimes and like you feel really stuck and like you're just going nowhere? You're not alone. Today, I thought we'd look at some of the deeper reasons why you just can't get ahead in life and what to do about it. So, we'll start with number one, a lack of clarity. Might sound simple, but do you actually know what it is that you really want? Most of us, if we're asked, what is it that you want? We'll answer with something like, well, I want to win the lottery or I just want to be happy. But that's kind of pretty vague. And it doesn't give you this way to focus on how to get it. So I'd like you to start by writing out a list of what it is you want. And that sounds fairly simple, and you might put some things on there like, I want a new car, or I want a holiday, I want my family to be taken care of, etc., etc. Keep writing as many things as you can. But then I'd like you to start adding in some of your values, like you want some more real connection with people, or a sense of adventure, or you might want peace, joy, or success, security, maybe freedom. And you don't have to be limited to just one of these. Just keep listing anything that is something that you want. Time with family, friends, more contentment, fun in your life, and let this list develop over several days and just keep adding to it as things come up that you want. And this is a way for you to get to know yourself a little bit more. And now, if you've ever done this before, you'll know that someone will then ask you to try and prioritize this list and try and find out what it is that's most important to you. But that kind of devalues all the other things on the list, when actually they're all important to you. They're all valid and they're kind of all equal. They're all part of who you are. And getting to know this and gaining clarity about it helps you to understand what it is that you really want. Once you've done that, then look for contradictions. What I mean by that is, for example, you might want security, but you also want a sense of adventure. Or you might want more success and to run your own business. But that's going to take a lot of time, and you actually want more time with your family. These things seem to contradict each other. But knowing that you actually want a combination of those things can help your mind focus and gain clarity about what it is that you really want. And what you want is a balance for those things to exist together. So you want to find, for example, a way to have more adventure in your life, but also feel secure. When I was first wanting to go sailing, I was too scared to own a boat on my own and just take it out and do it because I didn't really know what I was doing. But I wanted that sense of adventure out on the water. And I also wanted to feel secure. So I actually joined a sailing club and went sailing on somebody else's boat, and they were able to teach me how to do it. And so I got that feeling of adventure. I actually, without even being aware of it at the beginning, this led to me going away with someone on a boat. And so I got even more adventure, an opportunity that I wouldn't have even known was available had I not just found a way to start. I also did it in a way that felt secure to me because I wasn't the only one on the boat doing it on my own and trying to figure it out all by myself. Another example, wanting more success and family time. Maybe you're looking at starting that business, but it's going to take all this time away from your family. So try and get your brain to focus on ways that you can feel successful and what success actually means. Does it mean having a lot more money, or is it about a work-life balance, perhaps? And look for ways that you can try to balance those things out by working smarter instead of harder and longer hours. This helps you to refocus and gain clarity about what it is you really want. And because you then know what you want, your mind is then focused on that. And you'll look for things. You'll look for books and clips and other videos on it. You'll be talking to it about other people, and options can then start coming into you that weren't available before because your mind was too scattered. Number 2, what's driving your actions? While we all have this innate need to want to thrive and be and do more, our first primal need is actually to survive. And you might think, well, yes, I've got water and food and maybe a roof over my head, I'm surviving. But what I mean is that you need to feel safe and have these other basic needs met. So we need to feel comfortable. Our brains actually prioritize this. This part of our brain that does this doesn't know the difference between, say, a physical threat or being thirsty and anxiety or PTSD. They all equal not safe, not secure. The larger the perceived threat, the harder this part of us will try and step in and take over to return us to a state of safety and comfort. If you're, for example, worrying about not being able to pay your mortgage or your rent, or living in a domestic violence situation, maybe you're suffering from the ongoing effects of anxiety or trauma, it will be really hard for you to do anything that makes this situation feel worse when you attempt to make your life better. This includes things like taking away the things that bring you comfort. So, for example, if you're like comfort eating or gambling or smoking, scrolling through social media, you just want to try and take those away from yourself without actually dealing with the issue that is causing you to be or feel unsafe. This part of your brain will step in and say, nope, not happening. If you're, for example, trying to diet by restricting your comfort foods, and you're going okay, and then you think, I'll go to the gym as well, I'm going to really get in there and do this. It could just be that tipping point that tips you over the edge to, no, not safe, can't do it. And you'll step in and sabotage yourself in a big way. For me, I would sort of look down and there'd be all the comfort foods that I'd just gone into the supermarket and bought that I had ripped open in the car and started eating on the way home. And wouldn't even realize what I was doing until I was halfway through it. It was just too much. It was pushing me over the edge. If you feel that this could be affecting you, start at the core. Start with healing. For me, I had to start healing my complex post-traumatic stress and working through that. Maybe you might benefit from working with a psychologist or a doctor to work on those things before you start trying to, for example, open that new business or go and do something else that you really want to do. These things are all part of you and they'll still be there as part of you, but they'll be really hard to do if you already don't feel safe. And it doesn't mean you have to let them go. It just means if you heal first and do things in line, that when you attempt to do it, you can do it while you feel safe and confident and better in yourself. Because every time we try to do something and this part of us steps in, it can feel like we're failing and we get this mistrust. We lose trust in ourselves and who we are, and we lose our confidence. So you don't feel like trying again. It feels like, well, why try that? I'm just going to fall over again. There's a better way to do it. So try working on your own stuff first. Number 3, get to know yourself and work with your energy cycles. When do you have the most energy? For me, it's in the morning. So I choose to do any mental work and make these recordings, for example. Anything I need to do that's a little bit hard, I'll do it in the morning. But I used to spend this valuable, productive time scrolling through social media, mucking around, doing household chores, shopping, all those other things you need to do on your days off. But now I still allow myself to do those things, but I've changed it to the afternoon where I don't have to think too much about what I'm doing. I can just do them in automatic pilot. Small changes, big results. I get so much more done now. For women that are menstruating, get to know your cycles and notice that after your period is when you probably feel the most productive, and just before you get your period is a time when you need more self-nurturing. And if you work with this, you'll get so much more out of what you do, and you won't be judging yourself for those downtimes, because those downtimes are necessary. As a post-menopausal woman, don't have to worry about that so much, but I still notice that I have similar cycles, or days when I'm feeling enthused and creative, and other days when I just don't want to do anything. Not much at all. I've still got to do the things that I need to do to get through the day. It's not like I can just do nothing, but I now allow myself not to do all the extras on these days and give myself permission to rest more. It's the days where I can say no to other people wanting me to do things for them, and I can just focus on nurturing myself. And this knowing builds a self-wisdom instead of guilt and self-judgment. And it can make a huge difference to who you are and how confident you feel in yourself. Number 4, are you playing the waiting game? Are you waiting to start when you get more money, win the lottery, have more confidence, have absolute clarity about what it is you want, and can see a clear path, how to get it in front of you? Are you looking for a sign, or perhaps permission to go ahead? Are you waiting for a partner before you, say, travel or buy a home? Maybe you want to be an expert first, or get a better body before you start dating. Or are you waiting for the kids to grow up, to have more room? You need that room in the house before you can start painting. Maybe you'd like to have other people join you and have a whole team around you before you start. I can go on and on. It's important to check our beliefs, because a belief that we need all this stuff before we start can be one of the big things that holds us back. Instead of thinking about that, ask yourself, how could I start now? I started painting even though I had to start on my desk and move things around. This is the desk I also eat from, because I live in a very small space. But it just meant that I needed to set it up so that I could do it. I didn't need an art studio. A lot of people have started their businesses from their bedrooms or their garages. You can start to do something without a partner. You can go out for dinner. You can buy yourself flowers. You can look after yourself. We don't need to be an expert to start doing something. We actually become an expert as we start to do it. And you'll find that with most things. It's when you start to do something and you're completely involved in doing it that you become it. And you actually get there that way. So are your beliefs holding you back? Nobody wants to make a fool of themselves and fail, but a little bit of this actually makes us more likable and successful, because that's when we learn and tweak things and develop things more, and we get better and better at it. Most people don't realise that the happiness that they're wanting from accomplishing whatever it is they want to get or do or be is actually in the doing phase. It lies in figuring it out and seeing opportunities come to us, and the new people that will join our lives, and how we develop skills and gain more confidence and joy. That's all part of it. It's in the doing. It's not just the end result. Number 5, could you be stuck in the past? Are you spending a lot of time complaining and all your energy worrying and thinking about how you don't really like yourself or the way things are in your life? This takes up a lot of energy, and it takes the focus away from actually making it better. So you need to shift your focus to be the person that you want to become. One way to start this is to write out what this version of you is like. How do they dress, walk, talk? How do they speak? What do they get it right down to the nitty-gritty of what it is, again, gaining clarity about what it is that you want to become and have. Decide this is who you really are, and remind yourself daily, and be that person now. Start doing these things now. And I might hear you say, like, you want to be rich, for example. How are you going to go out and just keep spending money? Well, I'm not saying to go out and spend all your money buying things that you can't afford, because a person who's rich doesn't do that. They don't go out and spend money that they don't have, or on things that they can't afford. And they don't waste their time or money on poor quality. They wouldn't be gambling it all away or shopping for things that they don't really want or need just so they can feel that need of buying something. They're selective, and that's what you need to be too. Be more selective, for example, in what you're doing and how you're doing it. Find people that you admire that already have what you want and model the qualities that they have, and feel yourself stepping into those shoes. Have a bit of fun with it. And I will see you next time. If you have enjoyed this video and you've got something out of it, leave a great comment below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification button so that my videos come up in your YouTube feed. Thank you. Bye.